What's up? I'm Matt. Um, yeah, new channel. Gonna be doing a lot of like fitness content and fitness recipes. Really healthy foods. It's gonna be a bit of a blog, just kind of just like whatever. You feel me? Um, but yeah, I'm gonna take you through chest day. So first, we're gonna start off with my pre-workout meal. So let's go. Alright, so for the ingredients, we got some rice cakes, one banana, some raw honey, and some Himalayan salt. So I'll show you what I make. So to start, I use Aldi brand light salted rice cakes. Low calorie and high carbs, so they're good for a little pre-workout meal, quick energy. And I'll usually take like 2 rice cakes. Yeah. So for honey, you don't have to be exact with the measurements, but I like to do about, I'd say it's about like around a teaspoon of honey per rice cake. Just get it on there. And then after the honey, some pink Himalayan salt. It's good, gets the electrolytes going. So just add about, I like to like just grind up a decent amount on each side. You don't want too salty, but a little bit of salt. And then, you eat that with some pre-workout and good to go. Alright, so now that we're at the gym, I'm gonna warm up with a couple of, just general exercises to get my chest nice and warmed up. So I'll start off, I'll just take the 15s, nothing too heavy, but I just take these, get warmed up. These are nice to get like a stretch going, it helps you really feel like the pull between your chest. So it's really nice, and yeah, so do that. And then I just come over here and do some general dynamics. So I'm gonna skip through all that, but just get some stretches in, get the chest warmed up. Right now, I'm currently working on trying to get the 2 plates. Been going for about a couple months now, trying to, get my bench up. So I'm starting off with bench press to, hopefully work my way up. See how I'm feeling today, but as of right now, my PR is 205. So I'm just gonna start off with just the bar, get my form down, you feel me? Just get myself nice and warmed up around here, get that explosive power going. So, and yeah, now just do a couple reps, nice and warmed up. I think I'm about to throw on like 165 now and try to do that for 6. Just getting my muscles nice and ready for a heavier weight. Alright, so about to do this for 6. Let's go. Next weight we got is 185. I'm gonna try to do this for 3. Yeah, so that's the plan. We just warmed up, got our bar reps, got some light 165s. So the plan is I'm gonna take 185 for 3, and depending on how that's moving, we'll see. But I think that's gonna move hopefully pretty. And yeah, after that, I'm gonna try to do 205 for 1, and yeah, 205 for one moves, good enough. I'm gonna go for 215, which will be a new PR for me. We'll see. But yeah, let's go. Just for 3. Let's go. Thank you. Wow. Low-key struggle with that a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, move's pretty easy, so I'm about to try 215. New PR, let's try it. Low-key didn't hit that shit, but fuck it. Yeah. So now we're gonna move on to some chest press, you know, so get that upper chest going. It's 2 sets, please. To failure. Alright, we're gonna do 2 sets of this. This is for lower chest. So, yeah. Same format. We're gonna do 1 set till failure, 2nd set to mechanical failure. Let's go. Start with some side belts. Same concept. 2 sets till failure. Shit. So now we're gonna hit some front belts. 2 sets. Alright, so we're just trying to get quick tricep pumps. We're gonna go for a quick 2-piece and be done. So let's go. Done. Alright, so now we're just gonna do some quick poses, and yeah, better hit some cardio. We're just gonna walk home for some light cardio, but yeah. So little pump check. I mean, it didn't work out my back, but, I've been cutting for about 4 weeks now. So, we're getting there. But, yeah, let's go walk home, get some cardio. What's up? Alright, so, yeah, we, had a pretty good chest day. I definitely didn't hit the bench PR I was looking for today, but I definitely think we made some good progress today. What is it? Like I said, I started cutting 4 weeks ago. Yeah. So 4 weeks ago, I hit my PR of 205, and I barely got that up. So I'm down maybe 10 pounds from then. I was like 150 before. Now I'm 140. So 140 and change. I'm like 142 maybe, But yeah, so today 205 definitely moved way easier than it did 4 weeks ago. So, I'm not quite at the 215 mark yet, but I'm definitely making progress with my benching, and it's all a matter of time, hard work, you feel me? I just came off an injury in track, got sick. My birthday was 2 weeks ago, but I'm not gonna make excuses for myself. And yeah, I mean, like I said, overall pretty good day, felt pretty good. Definitely got a nice pump in, the pre-workout meal, definitely it definitely did make me feel energized on my lift. So we got about a 1 mile walk back home. I'm doing light pace, so I actually injured my hamstring the other day during a track meet. So, I'm just getting back on walking on it today. It was back on Monday. I wasn't even able to walk. So, we're recovering quick. My biggest goal is to just make sure I get in my protein and make sure I'm getting in my carbs, because that's what's going to help me build up the muscle and hopefully get me going back to normal as soon as possible. I still got the whole season ahead of me, so I definitely don't want to be out for too long. So, just diet, rest, recovery, that's my big thing. and obviously not skipping the gym, summer's coming up, cut's going pretty good, but I've still definitely I'm probably around 15-14% body fat right now, so still got about 2-3 more percent body fat to lose before I'm 100% ready for the summer. But yeah, I mean, feeling pretty good. I definitely think this cut's been a lot better than my last one. Not as hungry, and that's mainly in part to do with diet. Diet's very important. You'll see I eat a lot of whole foods. Been making the difference for me, for sure. And biggest thing is, like I said, getting your calories in, getting your protein in, and getting your carbs in. So we have to stop light for a second, but yeah, so when I get home, I think I'm about to cook up some chicken, broccoli, and rice. Get some carbs in, some protein with fuel for sure. I gotta take my creatine. Got some schoolwork I gotta get working on. Been slacking on my homework a bit. But yeah, I definitely think the biggest trick to getting lean is finding the balance between diet and exercise and recovery, because at the end of the day, you got to treat your body right if you want to get the good results. Yeah, so I mean, if anyone out there, you're looking to cut, you don't know where to start, or even if you're just like a little bit overweight and you're kind of new to the gym and you're trying to get into it but you don't really know where to start, I recommend cutting is not a bad way to go. You just gotta know how to cut the right way, because cutting isn't just starving yourself. That's not the way to do it. I know some people think that works for them, but quite frankly, cutting should not be you starving yourself. You shouldn't feel hungry and starve yourself. That's not the way to cut. So, biggest advice I could give to anyone that's trying to cut and doesn't really know how is, you got to think about your basal metabolic rate. I mean, we're burning roughly, average adult burning roughly 1,500, give or take, calories. I always personally, I like to underestimate, because that makes sure I'm in the deficit. Because at the end of the day, as long as you're getting in of the right amount of protein, okay, which in most people's cases, like I said, it depends on what you're looking for. But if you're cutting, I recommend at least 1 gram of protein for every pound of body mass. So that means, like me, I weigh around 140 right now, so I'm getting in at least 140 grams of protein a day. I like to aim for 150 just because I'm really trying to maintain as much muscle mass as I can. And like I said, I got to recover my hamstring. So, extra protein's not going to hurt you, So, by all means, get an extra protein if you want to. Like someone like me, I have a big appetite, So for me, it's not an issue of eating more. It's just an issue of eating right and not being hungry, And that's the thing, is I started off a little on the heavier side myself. So I've been there, I know what it's like. And the biggest thing for me is I love desserts, And it's just finding a way to translate that love for desserts from eating really bad junk food into eating more of a, so eating more of, like sugar, but natural sugars.
So like raw honey is a great sugar to get, you know. Very good for pre-workout and post-workout. Raw honey will keep you energized, you know. Like you saw, I put it on my pre-workout meal. But beyond that, fruits. If you can eat fruits, you're looking good. That's been my big hack to getting to where I am now, and is going to continue to be my trick to, you know, getting more defined abs, getting that lower body fat percentage, is just going to be, you know, eating a lot of fruit, because at the end of the day, we're made to eat fruit, you know. It's natural from the ground, you know, really good natural glucose. But yeah, I love apples, I love bananas, blueberries, strawberries, you know, almost every fruit is going to be super healthy for you and really good for cutting, you know. I mean, obviously, eat in moderation, don't binge eat, you know. You should be eating at least 3 meals a day. That's the biggest thing, is a lot of people say they don't feel hungry in the morning, so they skip breakfast, okay? And you should not skip breakfast. Breakfast is by far the most important meal of the day, you know? You should be getting in most of your carbs, most of your calories in the morning. Because you gotta think, what do carbs do? They fuel your body. You wanna be at a full tank in the morning. And then you keep filling that tank up throughout the day with lunch. And come dinner time, you know, you're fueling your body before you go to bed. So the difference is, you want to eat more of your fast carbs in the morning. Like I eat the same breakfast every morning. I'm not gonna lie, I've been doing it for the past 5 months now. A lot of people think that's boring, and if you think so, you can always switch it up. You know, there's other stuff you can eat. But what works best for me is just a nice bowl of yogurt with some chia seeds, some blueberries, and some honey. You mix that up. It's got plenty of protein, you know, plenty of prebiotics for your stomach, helps with digestion, you know, very good for your gut health. And yeah, I mean, it's not a bad breakfast. I highly recommend you try it. But yeah, so all I can say is, if you're looking to cut and you don't know what to do, just you know, start off small. It doesn't mean you have to start like counting your calories, counting your protein, and counting your carbs and all that junk, you know. Like, I'm not opposed to that. Me personally, I don't like to do that because it's very meticulous, it's very time consuming, and I live on a very busy schedule, and I just don't have the time to do that. So, you know, what works for me is just eating generally healthy, staying in a rough deficit, high levels of cardio, and high intensity weightlifting, you know. But I recommend for you, if you're just looking to start getting into cutting, you know, just start off with changing up your diet, because that's by far the quickest way to see quick results, you know. And like I said, you don't have to give up sugar and start like starving yourself and going to extreme crazy deficits like the keto diet and all that, you know. Don't do that to yourself, you know. If you love sweets, eat sweets. But the biggest thing I can stress is eat healthy. So that means eating your whole foods. So the easiest way I started doing it, because I've been there not knowing anything about macros or any of that. When you're about to eat a meal, just think, did this come from the ground or is this man-made? Because the majority of the time, if your food is all natural and it's not processed in any way, shape, or form, and it's from the earth, more likely than not, it's gonna be healthy for you. It's gonna be low calorie, it's gonna be nutrient dense, so it's gonna fill you up, but you're not gonna gain all that weight. But yeah. Other than that, I mean, just stay active, you know. Definitely try to get in your cardio, whether, you know, it just depends on the person. Like some people, like me, I get in my cardio through track practice. I get my cardio in by walking just about wherever I go. I much love walking, you know. It's very peaceful. I just like to listen to music and vibe out, you feel me? Listen to some, some music. I mean, I've been listening to a lot of Deftones lately. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, you know, whatever works for you. Like I said, like, cardio means many things. Like, cardio can just be, like I said, just walking, like what I'm doing right now. You know, cardio can be sprinting, can be swimming, can be boxing, you know, like, as long as you're getting your heart rate up and you're doing that for an extended period of time, you're gonna see results, I promise you. And just stay consistent, you know, like, you'd be surprised of what 1 week of eating healthy and staying active can do for you. And yeah, you know, other than that, I mean, I don't really have much more to say, you know. I don't want to take this video too long, you know. I'm still trying to, like, figure out how I want to make these videos, because, you know, like I said, I'm not really sure what kind of content I want to make on this page. I definitely want to do a lot of fitness, weightlifting stuff, you feel me? But I might post some, you know, just some random, like, daily life content too. Like, you know, I'm definitely about to be fishing a lot in the summer. Probably post some of that, you know, might hang out with friends a little, you know, just mess around, do some teen stuff, you feel me? You know, just get into some trouble. But, you know, I'm about to just be posting whatever. Definitely recommend, if you're more interested in diet and, like, specific meals to make. Like I said, I got that sweet tooth. If you're interested in some healthy desserts, check out my TikTok. Should be linked in my bio. I'm gonna be starting to post there more with different recipes, you know, a bunch of different stuff. So desserts, breakfasts, lunches, you know, just fun ways to eat healthy while still enjoying food. So if you're interested in stuff like that, or you don't like these long videos and you want, like, something quick, you can just scroll and watch in like a minute or less, you know. I've been posting stuff like that on there. But yeah, if you stayed and watched the video this long, I appreciate you. And, you know, I mean, I still have a lot to learn myself. I'm no fitness influencer yet, but, you know, that's the goal, you know. I mean, everyone starts somewhere. I'm starting now. So if you could subscribe, I would much appreciate it. You know, channel's just starting. I remember my day ones, you know, you feel me? So yeah, other than that, I'm gonna be home in probably 5 more minutes. I have maybe a quarter mile left to walk. So we'll see. Yeah, peace out, YouTube.